giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran Firm and our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! How y'all feeling this morning, man? How y'all feeling this morning? I tried to bring it in with as much energy as I possibly could after yesterday's practice. But there's some good stuff we'll get to, and of course we got to touch on the negatives that happened. Unfortunately, we got competition. We're going to talk about injury updates. We'll hit the free agent market. And then, of course, if you want, you can call into the Cochran Firm Pulse of the Nation phone line, 351-999-3787, 351-999-3787. Already, A.A. Ron from the 516 said, I'm pissed off. Disappointed, I think would be the word. But y'all just save y'all words for later. We'll talk about that, man. We'll talk about that. But shout out to the Bomb Squad in the building.
Bomb Squad!
I appreciate y'all joining me this morning. Alpha Mason, Damon Davis, Lamitra, Gregory, Tino Santiago, Stephen White. What's up? Hey, Stephen White. I know you wanted Matt Walesko at tight end, brother, but I think he's going to be on IR this year, it seems like, man. Professor O was good. A.A. Ron, Mr. Woods, Mar0101. He says, can you smell what Sky is cooking? Yeah. Gregory, Anthony Timo, Eric G, Swain, Jaws 88, John Bones Jones. Nah, it's really not him. Toxic Tom, Downey, Burner account, Captain America, how does it, sir? Big Flock 91, Esther B, Marquin Greer, 6 to Midnight. 6 to Midnight, you must be new here, man. I don't quite remember that name, but if you're new, appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you. Matt Goddix was good. Who else we got up in? Hector Cologne, what's up, Hector? Iceberg Q, Oscar Sullivan over on Facebook. Peter Rizzo as well on Facebook. A Hatch, what's up, A? B47 Vic, Life's Crazy. I like that name. Life is crazy, man. Life is crazy, y'all, and yesterday's practice was a little crazy. Man, it's hard because there were some good things from practice yesterday, but we took a hit at that wide receiver position, and we got to have a conversation about that after we get out the roundup because I want to know who you guys think we should bring in amongst those that are out there in free agency. So y'all keep sticking around. I see you, Uncut Coke. I see you, Swain, Sin City, CT Maddenhead. I appreciate all you guys for joining me this morning. CJ Richards, Kush Break, Reggie J. I try as hard as I can to give you all the shout outs because y'all know how I feel about the Bomb Squad, man.
Bomb Squad!
What's up, Trey? A couple more days, man. Where we at? Tuesday? 3 more days, and I'll be down there myself. I probably won't be able to catch Friday's practice because traffic and whatnot. By the time we get down there and drive, it probably won't catch it. But I will be there for Saturday's mock game and then the 3 practices following it all the way to the 10th. So Vash Lombardi and myself will be down there from the 5th through the 10th, and we'll be able to report to you what we see. But today we'll hit the Twitter streets and look at some of the trustworthy, I won't say reporters, but trustworthy analysis from some guys down there. And then we'll hit up another article from Bobby Belt where he details what went on down there. I really enjoy those, man. So I got to hit him up and let him know I appreciate those. So that's what we'll do. But unfortunately, in the roundup, we got to talk about this goddamn situation with the injuries, man. Connor Collins says, who called in about Lockett yesterday? Yeah, did you kind of just, nix us? Huh? Where you at, Danny? Danny probably on his second cup of coffee right now, making it right now. But yeah, tell your friend that gave you that inside information to report back to you, because we might need to be hitting up Tyler Lockett for real. I remember on Vosh Lombardi's show a long time ago when we were talking about DK Metcalf. I even put it on Twitter. I said, it ain't DK Metcalf I want. It's the other guy, Tyler Lockett. But Danny said he got some inside information, so it'd be beautiful if that could happen. But we're not going down that route. We're going to talk about the realistic guys that I think the Cowboys will go after in a second, all right? Oh, Trey, you just hold tight. We're going to talk about Tyler Smith out there working for IHOP, all right? Here we go. Hit the roundup.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, let's do it. Hey! All right, kicker. Why are we talking about kickers? Well, kickers are important, man. And right now, Lirim, hallelujah, also known as Hailu Rahu, I think, is outperforming Jonathan Garibay. Now, Jonathan Garibay had a better day yesterday, but he's still not coming through when they need to. He was 6 for 8 yesterday with his 2 misses coming in the mojo moment attempts, whereas Lirim was 7 for 8, making both of his mojo moment attempts, and the only reason he missed the field goal, the one field goal, was because he slipped on his plant foot. So, I mean, 2 practices down with this competition, and Lirim seems to be running away with it. On a personal note, I wanted Garibay to win this thing, because I would love to have a kicker for the future, right? But at the end of the day, I don't give a damn who wins it. May the best man win, right? Like we need somebody out there we can rely on it. And I wonder how long the leash is on Garibay. I don't think it'll be, short right now. I don't think they'll pull him out anytime soon, right? But by next week, if he's still struggling a bit, I wonder if they say, okay, this is a valuable spot. We need to get real competition in here. And they go out and they look into free agent market and they bring in some competition. The thing about kicker, there's a bunch of guys out there all the time. So, we need you to step it up, Garibay. All right? This position is not one we take lightly in Cowboys Nation, because we've seen how it can win games and we've seen how it can lose games. So, Jonathan Garibay, you made the list. We got a timetable of sorts. Honestly, really no timetable, but we got an update on Matt Waletzko. Mike McCarthy came out in the press conference prior to practice yesterday and said they're still trying to make a decision, the training staff, on his shoulder, and it's pretty much a matter of when he'll get surgery, not if. This is a quote from him. He's a rookie, so we don't really know yet until we see him move around in the weight room, strength levels, and all that. He's in medical evaluation right now. He will not practice this week. Y'all know what's about to happen, right? Hey, big fella. How that shoulder feeling? I think it's good to go, coach. That shoulder hurt, right? No. It's good to go, coach. Nah, that shoulder hurt. IR, and that's just going to be that. He's going to probably be on IR for the season, and honestly, I don't even know if that's a bad thing. It'll give him time to fully heal, give him time to get into that weight room and get strong. I don't think we really wanted to see, at least me personally, didn't want to see Matt Waletzko at tackle year 1 anyway. So the North Dakota Mountain is most likely going to get that old, hey, he's out for the season type of situation where it doesn't count against the roster. I don't think they're really relying on Matt, even though Steven said that. I feel like he was fibbing, just being honest. And now the 2 positions, as we get to the next one, that we had question marks surrounding from a depth standpoint have already suffered 2 losses. Now, I caution myself to say Major and Waletzko because I never looked at him as a guy to play. But Steven is the one that said, hey, he's got a shot. So you need to go out there and look in the offensive tackle market as well. Even though Josh Ball, we haven't heard any negative things from Josh Ball just yet, but still, Josh Ball can't be given this position by default, in my opinion. Also, James Washington. This is the big news coming out of yesterday's practice. This dude just seems to not be able to get out of his own way in regards to injuries, man. James Washington went up for a pass, I believe, from Cooper Rush. And Trayvon Diggs came down on his foot, and he has suffered a foot fracture, and they're calling it a Jones fracture. He will be out up to 10 weeks, which technically could lead into, well, not technically, it will lead into the season if he was to come back, if he's on the team. It'll be sometime in October. Now, this is an interesting nugget from Michael Gelkin that's very important to understand going into the 53. Quote, Washington is expected to make the initial 53-man roster on August 30th. So August 30th is when the roster has to be finalized. They moved it up from last year, if I'm not mistaken. He'll be 4 weeks post-surgery at the time. Team can decide then whether to replace Washington on injured reserve. If he goes on IR now, he won't be eligible for midseason activation, minimum 4 games out. That's a mouthful there, but what he's basically saying is he has to make that 53-man roster first. That way they can decide to do the IR and have him out for 4 weeks. The question becomes, is it even worth it? That's a question that I didn't think I'd be saying at this point in camp for James Washington. I hate to say I had expectations, but hey, it is what it is, given our wide receiver room. But I had some decent expectations for James to be our wide receiver 3. And I just feel like his stock just continued to tumble. He started off OTAs injured, came in first week, got banged up, and then the second week he breaks his foot. You know, I just don't know how much confidence you can have in him moving forward. Yeah, he'll be back during the season if you technically keep him on the roster, right? But he's not a guy that I think you can really count on when he comes back. Think about this for a second. James Washington, like I just said, didn't practice in OTA, so it's not like he's out there with Dak. Didn't really practice in training camp because he was getting dinged up and now he broke his foot. While I give Dak so much praise for being able to have a guy he doesn't have much chemistry with and make them into something, I don't mean no chemistry. I don't mean absolutely zero chemistry from a mid-tier guy like James Washington, right? This isn't Amari Cooper, who I think could come back and whatever. Like Amari got brought here in the middle of the season and did some good things for Dallas. But James Washington, I don't think is going to make or break your season, whether he returns or not. So thus the question becomes, do you go out there and sign somebody? Abso-freaking-lutely, Cowboys Nation, you do. 351-999-3787 is a call-in line. I want to know how y'all feel about this James Washington situation. Let me get to the chat before I start talking about this wide receiver room. T-Mac said, cut the bait now. Was it the same foot that he had a boot on in OTAs? It was not, Oscar. It was the opposite foot. So he hurt one foot, and then he came in and broke the other foot a few months later. So just seems to be getting dinged up too, right? Toxic trade of 5th for Cooper. What's up, C? Your best ability is availability. Sure. Santi wants to trade for Nelson Aguilar. I'm all for trading, but not for Nelson. Nah, no sir. T-Mac said, unpopular opinion, I'd trade for Jalen Reagor. He ain't been looking too good. I don't know, man. That's right up there with Aguilar to me. Okay, so real quick, let's take a look at this wide receiver. And let's be frank. There were already questions with this depth chart from availability standpoint, not necessarily overall, because when you get Gallup back, you feel a little bit better. But there was already questions heading into camp about this wide receiver depth chart. You had Gallup's injury, right? You had Washington, who was out all of OTA, so we really didn't know how he was connecting or how he looked. And then when he came back, he had a bit of an up and down quick camp, right? And now I think with Washington out, there are no questions. It's a full-blown issue. You cannot, and there's people that have tried to do this. I've seen it on Twitter. Oh, well, we didn't. Washington wasn't nothing anyway. We're going to be fine. Maybe. But for 1 second, put the damn Kool-Aid down and call it a spade a spade. It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
This is not a receiving room that inspires immense confidence right now. And this is not no offense to these players, right? Jalen Tolbert, I think, is going to be a fantastic young player. He's a rookie at the end of the day. Noah Brown is your second best receiver right now. I repeat, Noah Brown is your second best receiver right now. There will be Noah Brown stands that would be like, see, look, he's great. Trust me, teams around the league will sit here and say, yes, please go into the season with Noah Brown as your second best wide receiver. Simi Fehoko, TJ Vasher, Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert have not caught a touchdown pass from Dak Prescott in a regular season game. CeeDee Lamb is the only one to catch a touchdown pass in the NFL on this roster at wide receiver. That's a problem, folks. Yes, do we like Dennis Houston, who's making some splash plays? Kavontae Turpin, Ty Freifogel. Sure, these undrafted free agent guys. Yeah. But when the games start and teams start the game plan, you're going to need some ballers out there. Now, if you had an offensive scheme where it was like, hey, these wide receiver spots are interchangeable, you got a scheme where they're schemed open and things like that, maybe you feel a little bit better. But this is we're not going to target one guy offense. And I've been saying for years, not years, but I've been saying for months, if that's the case, then I need a bunch of studs out there. Because at any given moment, they can all go off. I don't think anybody's mistaken Noah Brown for going off, or Simi or TJ at this moment. Possibly Jalen. Jury's still out. Obviously, he's a rookie, but we like his future. So this is looking like CeeDee Lamb. I don't want to say or bust, but CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott having to carry heavy weight until Michael Gallup returns. And just because Michael Gallup returns doesn't mean they're going to click right away. Like, it's going to take some time for Michael Gallup to get right. So who do we go out and get? Here are some names in free agency. And I don't think all of these are accurate. For instance, Chris Moore is with the Texans. He's not a free agent, but Spot Rack does this. The big names are Will Fuller, T.Y. Hilton, Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders. Allen Hurns is not an option. Deshaun Jackson is probably not an option. Odell Beckham Jr., Adam Humphries, D.D. Westbrook. These are some of the more known names. Real quick, drop an emoji to express how you feel about the depth at wide receiver right now. Drop an emoji. And if you don't got an emoji, then just spell it out. Michael says, but Sky had a bunch of weapons before and didn't use them. Didn't use them all. What gives you confidence he's going to do it now? What gives me confidence he's going to do? What weapons does he have now to give me confidence that he's going to use them? There is no weapons. There's CeeDee Lamb and everybody else is unproven. The point that I'm making, Michael, is that if your offense is not designed to go to one person, then you need multiple studs so that at any given moment they can go off. Meaning, all right, Amari Cooper is going to be a distraction today. Or CeeDee Lamb gets you a $106, a $150, whatever, right? Well, CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper are just kind of recipients of me going off to Michael Gallup. All three of those guys were studs last year. Going into the season, I didn't give a damn who went off because you had three of them that could do it. With confidence, can you say any of these guys can do it? When you go back and look, Dak threw for 4,900 yards last year. Was it last year? I'm sorry, 4,400 yards last year. It wasn't like we wasn't getting a lot of passing yards. 2 years ago, 2019, Dak threw for 4,900 yards with two main weapons out there in Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. So they're used. The issue with Kellen Moore is about going to them when it matters most, going to them in big games, scratching that philosophy of, hey, we're not going to target one guy. Damn it, you better target one guy when it matters against these little foo-foo teams, whatever. But against these little foo-foo teams, I don't know if TJ Vasher and Simi Fehoko can be those guys. I don't know. And at this point, if you go look in here, we're talking about Marshalls, right? Hell, I don't know that any of these guys can be those guys anymore. But let's go down the list. Will Fuller. He's a speedster, right? He's the guy that everybody wants. We understand he's a guy that's going to get hurt, though. But from a pure wide receiver standpoint, he's one specific skill set that you don't have on this team right now. I'm for it. I understand it. I get it. You got to keep in mind, none of these dudes are ideal. But Will Fuller is a guy that you need in that room, in my opinion, because you don't have his skill set. Injury guy, don't expect him to play more than like 8 games, if that. T.Y. Hilton, I think, is an interesting one. He was a successful veteran to me that's pretty much done everything in the league. It could probably help ease the depth until Gallup gets back better than anyone on this list. Also hurt guy, also old. But it is what it is. Cole Beasley. Talked about this on Vacha's show. If you take away the way it ended in Dallas, if you take away the vaccination situation, just Cole Beasley's skill, hell, you could argue his skill set's not on this team right now. Now, we got to see about Turpin, right? Maybe Turpin can be that slot guy. But Cole Beasley is a bona fide slot demon. That's just facts. He's become a bit of a hurt guy, too, later on in his career. He's up there in age. But Cole Beasley might be the most ideal player because he played with Dak Prescott. He wants to come play with Dak Prescott. He knows this offense. But do I feel confident they'll bring Cole in? No. And let me say this real quick. They got to bring somebody in. We can't sit on our hands. This room is already was depleted as is. Now it's even more depleted. Odell Beckham Jr. This will be more of a long-term game here with him. He's not going to be back anytime soon. If you want to sign him, that's fine. But you won't get him until later in the season. So honestly, he's not going to help you right away. Much like Cole Beasley, Adam Humphries is a slot guy that I think could come in here and be a reliable slot player for you. He gives Dak that trust in the middle. Because right now, if you look at the depth chart, my concern, aside from these dudes have almost no real experience in NFL besides Noah Brown. And again, we're talking about a guy who has, 20-some catches in his career? My issue is the style of these receivers. We're talking about guys who are redundant in a way. There's no route you up guys. There's no speedsters. And I'm talking about more on the left side here. Kevontae Turpin, a guy who hasn't played, in the NFL yet, is your only twitchy speed guy, and we just signed him last week. So I don't like the redundancy on the roster. I didn't like the redundancy in general. That's why I kept calling for like a pure slot guy or a pure speed guy. And I know they love to move these dudes around and everything like that. But aside from CeeDee Lamb, I mean, who's a guy that you throw in that slot that you're like, yeah, he's gonna get busy in there? Not TJ, not Simi, not Noah. We think Jalen can turn into that, but again, it's more so hoping. We don't know just yet with Jalen. We got to see it. So I am concerned about this roster, this depth chart, and I think they need to go out and sign somebody. Even if they do, will that ease my concerns a little. But it's not like these guys are going to be guys that put you over the hump or anything like that. A lot of Cowboys Nation wants these free agent wide receivers just to get you by until Michael Gallup gets back. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. But just know, Mike's going to take a few games. It's just going to take a few games. We could be looking at by midseason until we get a real read on what this passing offense can look like healthy. And hopefully everyone remains healthy from here on out, because we are one, I don't even want to put that in it. Let's just hope everybody remains healthy. I don't even want to put that out there. We got a couple super chats let me get to before we hit the phone lines right quick, y'all. Whew. Rough room, man. All right, here we go.
Super chat.
Toxic Time, Sky, why on why we can't get out of our own way. Appreciate you.
Super chat.
Ron with the $5 donation. On the scramble drill and catch by CD, his knee bent weird. That's how close we are to Noah Brown, Tolbert, and Simi as our 3. I didn't want to put that out there in the air. But you're right. Brandon Gomez.
Super chat.
Thank you for the donation. Where's it at? Is your Vasher doubt changing yet, Sky? Could he replace Washington? I didn't have no doubt on TJ Vasher. There's no doubt on TJ Vasher. TJ Vasher is what he is a skyscraping guy who, if you go back and listen to the show, I said if Vasher makes this team, you got to utilize his skill set. He's a specialty player. Look at this. Look at this depth chart, man. At this point, TJ making the team. Ain't got no doubt on TJ. The only doubt on TJ is can he play special teams? That's what I doubt.
Super chat.
Toby Rohrer says knowing Steven and his penny pitching guys like Dede Westbrook and Chester Rogers are on the table, don't expect anything big. The thing with Chester Rogers, let me bring this back up, is he's not Chester Rogers. I'm talking about Chris Moore. I'm sorry, you're right. Chester Rogers possibly is a free agent. But Dede Westbrook hasn't done too much in the last 2 years. Chester had a little decent run in Indianapolis, but I don't know what he's doing, what he's up to. To be honest, though, all these guys should be cheap. Or like nobody should really cost you a lot. The Cowboys are sitting on $22 million. But they shouldn't have to spend a whole lot of money.
Super chat.
And then King with the $4.99 says, we can't look at this like it's the pre-Amari 2018 core. The positives that we have a number one in Lamb and some young talent. It's a speed bump. We good. So you are one of those everything is good guys. Now, let me tell you something right here. We are one terrible injury away from 2018 wide receiver core. I think you seem to forget. I think what you're relying on is Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert is a third-round wide receiver who took a second-round talent. If you remember, Michael Gallup was a third-round wide receiver with second-round talent in 2018. The only difference at this moment, right now, is CeeDee Lamb. That's it. That is the one thing stopping the Dallas Cowboys from that wide receiver room. In all honesty, if we're keeping it a buck, looking worse than 2018. Let's just keep it a bean. 88 saving this wide receiver room from looking worse. But that's a whole different conversation we don't really want to talk about. Whole different conversation. Bottom line, you're going to have to find a way to get by. You're going to have to find a way to scheme. I am very interested. King, I wish you would call, and I really want to have a conversation with you why you think it's a speed bump. We good. What is... This ain't no speed bump, bruh. You done ran the car over the curb. You got to replace your tire. I wish I had that whole BM about this wide receiver room, man. All right, let's get on the horn here, man. What's up, B-Bird?
Hey, what's up, Scott?
What's going on with you?
Hey, nothing much, man. For one thing, I guess necessity is the mother of all inventions. In Cowboys, I guess necessity mother of all transactions or whatever. Because it seems like in I guess it was 18 when they had to go get Amari, it's out of necessity, and it made him make a good move, to be honest with you. So hopefully they go get someone that can add to this. I think we should have gotten that prior to. I think you just stock your room with as many good guys as you can. But one thing is, what a year makes, because last year we were so deep that, we lost all those games with Gallup. Had a couple of games lost with Cooper, and CD maybe missed 1 or 2 games, and we just kept on clicking because of our depth.
Yep.
And I think last year, we was arguing that we had the strongest wide receiver 3 and wide receiver room in the league. And that was a good argument to have against anyone. This year, now we're not, right? So it's just interesting to me how far we've come and how fragile that room is, because just an injury to pretty much a cheap free agent caused us to get into this state. But I guess the guys that you mentioned that's out there, I want to give you a scenario, and so if those guys, T.Y., Will, there was another one you named. I don't really name
Cole, Emmanuel Sanders, yeah.
Yeah, Emmanuel Sanders. I don't necessarily. I think they want to use CD in the slot a lot this year, so they want to have that versatility to move him down. So, slot guy. But you name all those guys, you put Washington in it, right? A healthy Washington. I'm talking about before free agency. I don't even think Washington would even rank in top 3 of those guys. What I'm trying to say is, I think you had some guys out there better than Washington originally, which was Will Fuller and T.Y. that would have came in and gave you a lot more. Forget growth, forget youth, and all that kind of stuff, because we're trying to win, a Super Bowl now. So I'm not worried about growing in 3 years with Washington or growing in. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about what can you do for us this 1 year, and then we'll figure out everything else later on. Like after the off season, like T.Y. would be great, Will would be great. The trade for Lockett, if you can get good compensation, would be great, because I think it's just upgrades that room, man, that really needs it, because from 1 year to the next, man, we've come from it being a strength now to it being a weakness, and I'm gonna take your I'll listen off there, man.
Yeah, I mean, you go back just 1 year ago. We're talking about Noah Brown being your 5th or 6th wide receiver. Noah Brown's your 2nd best wide receiver now. Hey man, I'm sorry. That's not something I just can gloss over. And the issue what's frustrating is that I don't think that anybody in free agency is really going to make this that much better. So what you need to hope is that you can get by until Michael Gallup gets back, then get by when Michael Gallup gets back, and once you hit that stretch run down in week 13 to 17, 18, those Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert are clicking on all cylinders. You got to get there though. Where are my manners though? I forgot to talk about our lovely guys over at the Cochran firm, which is sponsoring the Pulse of the Nation phone line. Cochran firm has been the nation's premier personal injury, truck accident, and medical malpractice law firms. Their attorneys handle the most challenging civil cases that are handled on a contingent fee basis. This means their fee is solely based on a percentage of the money that they recover for you. The initial consultation is free. If there is no financial recovery, then we charge no fee. With 42 offices across the United States, they have won over $30 billion for their clients. There is no firm better fit to handle your legal needs. So stop by the Cochran Firm's office in Dallas or Fort Worth, or schedule your free consultation today at thecochranfirm.com. Let's get back to the horns. We got 843. I think this is Twan.
What's going on, guy?
What's good, brother?
Man, chilling. But it's wide receiving core. We kind of screwed right now, bro. Because you look at the free agents we got, the only one we got that might bring a different skill set is maybe T.Y. Odell can't do nothing for you. He's gonna be out for who knows how long. I mean, everybody else we got on our roster, James Washington, Noah Brown, those kind of like the same type of receivers. Like, we don't have a diversity of skill sets on the team right now outside of CeeDee Lamb.
That was my point, Twan. When you go look at the room, I mean, sure, if everything is fine to you, everything is fine. But this one thing you can't deny: there is no versatility there. It is a very redundant room. Even CD, who was a beast. CD doesn't have one particular special skill. None of these guys really do. They're all more possession-ish wide receivers. And I know that sounds crazy. Are you coming at CD? That's not what I mean. What I mean is CD's your one. He's going to do everything for you. But after that, you got a bunch of redundant type of possession guys. There's no speedster. There's no twitchy guy. There's no route runner. TJ Vasher has a special T, but is TJ Vasher going to be used in that manner? Do we trust Kellen Moore to use him like that? This room went from a question mark to a major concern right away.
Thank you, man. You're right. I mean, it's going to be a major concern this year, but Dak only got one person that he really can depend on is CD. And right now, our tight end, Dalton Schultz. Everybody else is a question mark right now. So the only thing I see we can do is got to make a trade with somebody. I mean, this free agent's not going to work. It has to be through a trade.
Yeah.
So that's what I got, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, man.
I should have did a little bit more deep dive, and maybe I'll do that after the show. Is there any receivers that are on the fringe of being traded? Any teams that, are upset with their receiver, have contract issues? And I'm not talking about DK Metcalfs of the world and the Deebo Samuels. Those guys are already signed, but they weren't going to trade for that. I'm talking about more lower level dudes who can come in here and be better than a 35-year-old Emmanuel Sanders. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'd have to go look and see. Man. Eagles are trash. We get Gallup back week 3 or 4, probably week 6 to 9. Odell Beckham wouldn't work, guys. We need a solid guy for 6 weeks at minimum. Yeah, Odell Beckham is playing the long game, which cool. That's fine. But what do we do now? What do we do weeks 1 through 4, however long Michael Gallup's going to be out? And again, even when he returns, it's probably going to take a few. What do we do? You know what it's going. I'm telling you what's going to have to happen if we don't do anything. Coaching. I believe in Dak, man. I truly do. But y'all, this is what's going to happen. They're going to set this man up. They're going to roll out Noah Brown as wide receiver 2. And everybody going to be mad because Dak out here struggling. Laviska Shenault. Thank you, Professor O. That was a guy we talked about earlier in the offseason, was trading for a guy like Shenault. I would love to get to Tyler Lockett. Deontay Johnson was another one that's out there. He wants to get paid, too. Devontae Parker. That was a guy a few years ago I was high on. Hell, it might have been last year when I was playing fantasy. Yeah, Devontae Parker. Oh, he's in New England now? Okay. Big Sarge says run 12 personnel. We're actually going to get to some tight end stuff a little bit later. That's going to have to be your answer early, ain't it? Whole lot of 12. What up? Set it off, Chris.
What's up, bro? Man, I thought I was going to hear some more optimism, man, but it seems like, man, we got the pallbearers out in the Reefs.
What you want me? You want me to fake the funk about this wide receiver group? You want me to lie to y'all?
No, I don't. Well, first off, you never lied to me, so I don't ever have to worry about that.
You know that ain't me, man.
You never lied. No, that ain't you, man. We ain't got a lie to kick it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. But I think this is going back to what you said, and something me and Brandon always talking. Coaching matters. Yeah. I think this is you get the best version of this football team where you can get Tony on the field more. You laid out, and you and Professor O laid out that the first 6 games of the year, we were in 12 personnel more, so we can figure out how to get work with Schultz, get Tony on the field, get Zeke on the field at the same time. And I think it's going to take them a little bit, to get there. But the Gallup, Odell Beckham, and they sure take ain't going to go get Laviska Shenault, which, like you said before, early in the year. They probably should have did that. I just think this is the opportunity to find out what Kelly got in his bag, man. This is what we've been asking him for.
Bro.
He's had a loaded hand.
Bro.
Go ahead.
Before Washington got hurt, there was the opportunity for Kellen to show what he got because he didn't have a lot. Washington, here's the thing about Washington. What he takes away, it's not like you're losing Washington, oh my God, it's a major blow. What it is you lose the experience. Right. You lose another guy who's actually caught touchdowns and passes in the league and been a focal point of offenses, et cetera, et cetera. And this is no knock to Washington, and I don't want to make it seem like, oh my God, we lost Washington, our season's over. That's not the case. The room was already a big, giant question mark. You just took a hit with one of your top 3 receivers. No matter how you shake it, that's a hit, right? Like you can't afford to lose bodies in a room where the bodies are already have question marks circled around them. So I think Kellen Moore was already under pressure with Washington. Now you remove Washington, the pressure just mounts.
I mean, and you know what? You can already drop it because it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, man, there's nobody out here on the street that you feel super duper excited about. Steven ain't spending no money. He ain't spending no money. He hadn't done it before. Don't think he's gonna do it now. And so you're saying they're gonna set Dak up, to fail. Well, I think these first 4 games. Go ahead.
I hope they don't. I'm saying I think the fans are going to turn quickly if we roll out Noah Brown as wide receiver 2, and it don't look good those first few weeks. The fans will quickly turn on Dak Prescott is what I'm saying. I don't think they'll want to intentionally set him up, but Steven is Steven if you don't want to spend the money.
They're gonna turn on him anyway. I think you still gonna have to lean on the running game a little bit more. I think the thing we've been hollering all year, the tandem of Zeke and Tony help aid that. Schultz is already a top 5 tight end, top 7 tight end in the league by the numbers. This is CD's chance to break out. You find out what you got with the rookie. This isn't like in 2018 when you had Hurns, a Ricky Gallup, Tavon Austin. It's close. But
Cole,
I don't see it.
You're one injury away from it being worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about it. You had Allen Hurns, Tavon, Cole Beasley, right? I would 100% take those dudes at that particular time in their careers on this team right now. Think about that.
I mean, of all those guys, after they left here, they ain't do nothing nowhere else outside of Cole.
No,
so,
you're right. I'm just saying, if you're one person away from this being worse, is what I was getting at. Okay. Well, I mean, you be one person away, or as always, when injury comes the opportunity for people to be better. This would be a great time for my friend and yours, who I write all his quotes down every day, Marcus Hardison, to come with a great quote right now and say, hey, through some kind of adversity, the heart of the man strengthens and goes forward. I don't know. He gonna come with something fly. But my whole point is, them cats they got in their room, they got to find out what they are. Because Steven going to make sure he find out what they are before he drop a red cent on somebody in these streets. See, that sucks, man. We are so conditioned. I don't got my button. Where's my button? I got to push my button because this is what you sound like when you said, you can't see me, Chris, but this is what you sound like when you said, well, with question marks, I don't look at them as question marks. I look at it as opportunities. Okay, Stephen Jones, I see you.
Here we go. Money talk.
I'm just saying. Hey, listen, man. You like cream in your coffee. You know what you like, and you know how this dude dances, man. That's how he gonna do it, man. He's a pencil. He's a numbers cruncher, man. He want to look like he's the smartest damn guy in the room. Hey, we got these young guys. We got to see what they can do. Yeah. And on August 2nd, guess what? There's very few people you're going to find out here in these streets that's going to be able to do what we need to get them to do. Yeah. August 2nd, that you're going to feel amazing about, that you're going to feel over the moon about. Well, go hit the trade market then. Huh? Go hit the trade market then. And listen, man. They always get beat in this trade market thing. They always get beat. Yeah, I mean, it's not been one deal they've ever done that you and I have seen that I truly believe they won. They didn't even win on the Amari deal when they got him.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
I think they get, huh?
So, yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, man. And then, listen, I mean, it is what it is, man. But you know what, bro? Hey, I'm not here to put, rainbows and sprinkles on it. I'm just being, listen, this is 2nd August, man. Gotta find out what somebody can do, man. But
we going to.
This is, yeah, trust me, we just gotta see that the guy who we believe can elevate this. That's always been the knock on Ray. He can't elevate none of these guys. That's the one thing they hold, and I don't like to say his name anymore because that guy's almost 10 years removed. But when that dude came and got Laurent Robinson paid, that dude will hold that statue forever. Oh, he elevates the most minute guys on the planet.
Yeah, he was 8 years. He was 8 years in the league. Like, I mean, what are we doing? Not you, but
yep.
but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have worries about Dak. We can't put everything on his damn shoulder. But that's a different conversation for a different
trust and believe they did because they built that stadium on the other dude's back. Trust and believe they gonna do it. They built that daggum stadium that we love on that dude's back. They gonna show us they put that on his shoulders. Oh, he make $40 million? You goddamn right they gonna put it on. So, but ain't nobody, here's what it is. Hey, man, appreciate your show, man. Appreciate everything you do, man. Cowboy Nation, hit the like button, man. And, man, we'll talk later, bro.
All right, brother. I'm laughing because when Chris said a Marcus Hardison quote, Toxic Times, Marcus, we're Yeah, I would love to see what he can come up with this one. Come on through later on, Marcus. Come on through. I don't think it's shambles. I don't think we should be in shambles because of it. I think the frustration is now resurfaced because you have the honeymoon phase of training camp. And I'm just pointing out the facts. I could ignore it, but I'm not because the facts are the facts. This wide receiver room is not looking great. What you want me to do? Now, the phone lines done lit the hell up today. And I promise you I'm going to get to you. This could literally be the entire show, and I don't necessarily want it to be because there is some other notes to get to from training camp. So I kind of want to get to those notes if y'all let me. And then we'll come back to the phone lines and we can go in on the rest of the show. So let's go ahead, hit the Twitter streets and talk about some of these notes. And today's notes come from Zach Wolchuk over on 105.3 The Fan. He's been fantastic with his notes on Twitter. And then we'll get to Bobby in a second. Let's just go down here briefly. These aren't as detailed, but we'll go down. Dak and CD had their best days, and that's what I kept seeing on Twitter. Everybody saying that Dak and CD were just balling, and we'll get into more detail with that later. This one here, Tyler Smith, clearly better than McGovern. Put a pin in it. Put that pin in it. Pollard used all over the field as running back and wide receiver. One thing I noticed on a play that you'll see when I play some of these highlights was a scheme to get Pollard the ball out the backfield that got him open, and it would have been like a touchdown unless Micah Parsons ran his ass down, which he did. But I love it because it was a pick play. We need more of that. We're going to need a hell of a lot more of that now with Washington now, who's going to be counted on as wide receiver, as a multifaceted one at that. So Pollard probably needs to enter the wide receiver room. I hate to say that, but probably does. Jabril Cox continues to move well, cover sideline to sideline. The more and more we hear about Jabril Cox, the more and more it sounds like he's just, I won't say all the way back, but he damn near getting there. And I get more excited the more I hear about him. Tolbert, Vasher, and Fehoko all made plays. Again, pin that. We'll talk about that again later. His second part of his notes, tight coverage by the linebackers and DBs all practice to force tight window throws. I saw some of that too in the videos that were going around. It's hard to put everything into one video, but you see a bunch of it. You try to piece it together and get an idea. But it looks like these DBs are active, specifically Nahshon Wright. think he had a good day yesterday looking around the web. A couple breakups, and he had a dope pick that you'll see in the highlights later. Biotish is looking better. Love to hear that. Here's the tight end part we're talking about. Schultz made nice catches in traffic, and Ferguson looks good to me when he gets involved. 12 tight end package. Let's turn it up. Coach Mike McCarthy talked about Ferguson. He said he's everything that we looked for in Ferguson. I'm just curious. I'm just talking right now. I wonder when Ferguson makes plays and he looks good, is Dalton Schultz like, man? I know that there's a TikTok thing going around. Man, I beat your ass. Like, you shouldn't think like that. But Dalton Schultz came out the first time they interviewed him down in camp, and he said, yeah, I was pissed. I was annoyed that we didn't get a contract done. And y'all drafted a guy? So there's a competitive nature to this whole thing. But we're going to need both of them. Then Turpin and Tolbert are getting looks on punt return. I'm hoping that is just Turpin as your punt return guy, period, because he's dynamic, where Tolbert really didn't return punts like that in college. I think he was just kind of forced to do it because who did we have to return the punts prior to Turpin? So hopefully Turpin can remain healthy and out of trouble, and he gets a shot to be the Cowboys punt returner and kick returner for the season because he's got those dynamic abilities. If you go back and look at 2016 when we had a guy like that in Lucky Whitehead, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Lucky have a couple big returns? I don't know if he scored, but he had a couple big returns, and I do know the kid from UNC had a punt return touchdown. So you got to get a guy in there that can do those specialty things. So those are Zach Walchuk's notes from yesterday. We'll get into some more details later on. Let me get to the chat and lead us up real quick. Swain, we got 3 tight end hybrid wide receivers. Joey said, man, I'm hurt. It's frustrating. Scotty, this is a good point. You know, Scotty, one thing we are forgetting, the better we run, the more the passing game opens up. There's no denying that. The running game is going to help in general. My reservation is more so with the offense, the system, the play caller. If this was, and I hate to bring these names up, but if this was a Kyle Shanahan, I've seen Kyle Shanahan make a Jawan Jennings get 5-6 touchdowns. I've seen him take no-name running backs and have a successful running game. I've seen him be able to lean on the run game and feed off of that from a schematic standpoint. We'll see. We'll see what Kellen Moore can do as his roster is being depleted at this point. And I'm talking about not just what happened yesterday, but from the offseason. Oh, are y'all talking about Antonio Brown? Well, boy, beggars can't be choosers. I don't even know how I feel about AB, man. AB wild. You just see him at his little concert or something like that. Nah, you know what? I talk to myself. I don't want no AB. I don't want no AB. I'm good. All right, let's get back into the phone lines here. A lot of people on the horn. I think we got my guy Mel Hayes. I definitely want to hear what you got to say, Mel. So let's get back to the Pulse of the Nation phone line presented by the Cochran Firm. Brother, what's on your mind this morning, man? I'll be out there in a couple days.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. First of all, bro, this doesn't make the wide receiver room a concern. It was already a concern.
It was a concern.
It was already a concern. It was already this is just icing on the cake, bro. It's icing on the cake. 2 things, man. They not gonna what's the 2 things this front office is not very good at, Sky? Free agency and making trades. So now we're saying they have to either make a trade or go find a free agent. Man, please. Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming. Get ready for Steven to get out there and say, well, we like TJ and we like Noah's having a great camp, and we really like what we've seen in Semi, and we've got some guys here we really believe in, and it's just time for the next man to step up. That's what you're about to hear. Nobody's coming, especially nobody of note.
This is what he said, and this is a quote from Stephen Jones when they asked him about, what are you going to do? He said, we're always looking for upgrades to our roster. So he gave us the old Stephen Jones answer.
If he was always looking for upgrades, we would have already had them.
I know. But listen, hear me out.
We wouldn't have been dependent on James Washington. We would have had better upgrades.
Hear me out. I'm going to separate the two. My frustrations with the wide receiver room and what I think is going to happen. And you could come back and y'all could tell me, Sky, see, you was wrong on this. I do think they're going to sign someone. Like, let me go show you. I can't see them rolling into the season and trying to sell to me that Noah Brown's your wide receiver too.
But it's already been sold to you, and you already bought it, because that's what's going to happen. Nobody's coming. No wide receiver 2 is coming.
Well,
there's no wide receiver 2 coming.
That you know what? Let me retrace that, because you're right. Just because you go out and sign a Ty or Will doesn't mean they're going to be the 2.
Them guys he's not signing them guys. No, if he signs somebody, it's not going to be no name you ever heard of. And on the conversation of the 2018 versus this is way worse. It's not even close. This is worse. Those guys at least have NFL experience.
That's what I was thinking,
bro. These guys are barely even NFL players.
That's what I was saying,
These guys are barely even NFL players. They're barely even they never even seen a coverage.
Well, Semi, TJ, and obviously those guys on the right-hand side, the undrafted, and Jalen, they've never touched the NFL field on a real game. So, the only other guy that's caught an NFL pass besides CeeDee Lamb is Noah Brown. But then when you go deeper, CeeDee Lamb's the only guy to catch a touchdown pass in the NFL. So I don't know how anybody could legitimately look at this and be like, oh, yeah, nothing to worry about.
At least that group had Cole Beasley, who was Dak's leading receiver the year before, I think.
That's what I'm saying. They had Cole Beasley. They had guys who done some things in the league. That doesn't mean that group. CeeDee Lamb is what makes this better. That's it.
Oh yeah, we're not questioning CD. We're not questioning CD. That's not the issue, and we're not questioning Dak either. And please stop it with all of the Dak is gonna have to elevate the guy. Man, stop that. First of all, it takes more than just Dak to elevate guys. It takes the coaching. It takes them getting better. It takes more than just, Dak got to elevate the guys. He can't pass it and catch it. So that's man, y'all need to stop that. And all of the hopium about, this opportunity, man, stop. It is what it is, dog. This wide receiver room, I think the main thing is the offense just going to have to change. Like, I think the day they let Cooper go, they gave up on the offense being explosive. Because they knew at that time when they let Cooper go, they knew they were not going to have Gallup. Gallup had already been hurt. You already knew the timetable at the moment you were like, okay, we're done with Cooper. So you knew at that time you were walking in with just CeeDee Lamb. At that time you knew you were already preparing to fail back then. You didn't bring in nobody of note, and at that time there were legitimate guys out there. There were still guys out there that could have helped the wide receiver room. Like, you can't tell me that should I take Jarvis Landry?
Oh, well, if we're going,
I mean, it's funny because
we're going back into free agency, I mean, there were better players than James Washington, and Jarvis Landry was definitely at the top of that list once you start seeing the big name guys or the big money guys go. I thought Jarvis would have been a fantastic get once you got to that second tier, third tier part of free agency, but I forget when the Cowboys traded Coop. I can't quite remember, but they knew they were going to trade him, so they could have prepared for that, and they signed.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was before the draft, right?
Oh, it was definitely
because we were saying wide receiver during the. Yeah, it was before the draft. Yeah,
but I think their big free agent get was Michael Gallup.
Yeah. I think they better I need the guy. I need him now though. I need Zeke now.
I mean, they were going to have to lean on the run game anyway, right, Mel? Like they were going to have have Zeke and TP, lean on those guys. Now, excuse me, someone in my throat. Jerry came out, very interesting. Mike McCarthy came out the other day and said this is Dak's offense. Jerry came out and said Zeke is going to be the focus. This is why I don't like Jerry Jones talking. I feel like you just publicly undermined your coach. Now, I'm not saying that he's wrong. We're going to have to lean on the run game is really what it should be, not just one particular person. We're going to have to lean on the run game, but it seems like the head guys and the head coach are not on the same page on what they want this offense to be. But one thing I wanted to point out to Cowboys Nation and to y'all, I find it so interesting that on the offense side or the defense side of the ball, they have emphasized speed. But on the offensive side of the ball, they have not. When you look at that wide receiver room, there is no Kevontae Turpin's it. That's not a knock on CD and Jalen. Jalen ran a 4.49, but I mean like legitimate speed. You could argue this. I mean, I don't know around the league, but this might be one of the more slower offenses, at least in the NFC.
I don't know. I think you might be saying that, Scott, because you're so close to the situation. I think if you look around the league, there's not like a ton of wide receiver rooms with just a ton of speed.
Offense. I'm talking about the entire offense. The only person on your offense
in general,
that has that speed was Tony Pollard until Kevontae Turpin came in, and TP.
Yeah, I was gonna say TP.
That's what I'm saying. Other than that, you don't have. Just be honest, a single other guy that threatens you from a pure speed standpoint.
You're probably on this team just TP.
Right.
TP
so
again, really play.
You're right. I'm definitely close to this team and not around the league. So this is a guess, but I'd imagine in the league there aren't too many teams that have just one guy. I would imagine they probably have multiple dudes. But I mean, that's just something I was observing as I was looking at this depth chart. Then I was like, well, what about running back? And I'm like, well, TP.
Yeah. I think this team is definitely more so than any other year going to have a strong offensive identity, bro. They're going to have a strong offensive identity because they don't have just a plethora of playmakers out there to just, dominate their man one-on-one or even have the experience to know, okay, this is where I got to sit down in the zone. This is where the soft hole is. Those are the things that at least Cole Beasley gave you in 2018. He still had a lot of experience, and he was very, very good as an NFL slot wide receiver. These guys we don't even know what they are good at.
And here's the
we don't know. Like, we can sit here and say we don't know.
It's like an opposite effect right now. Back then, you had experience in the room. Doesn't mean you had great players, but you had experience in the room. But you had inexperience in Dak Prescott in regards to as a passer. He was still developing as a passer. Now Dak Prescott's developed as a passer, and you got inexperience in the room. So we're not getting on the same page in that manner. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, my last thing, man, it sure would be nice to have Malik Turner and Cedric Wilson right now. I mean, I know those are not guys that are, superstars, but they damn sure better than Noah Brown, bro. They damn sure better than Noah Brown. And I mean, I went to practice on Saturday and I went on Friday. Noah Brown did look good, man. He did look good. But at the same time, I seen Noah Brown in games. I saw him when he had to step up against Kansas City. I saw what that looked like. It don't look
Vegas.
Good. It don't look good.
Yeah.
It don't look good.
From all accounts, Brown is, again, like I've been saying, your second best wide receiver. Take that and do what you with it what you want.
Take that and do it. But that just so everybody know, come week 1, he's going to be out there on the field. Like, just don't. I mean, if you have expectations that you're going to be seeing something else, no, you're going to be looking at CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, and more than likely Jalen Tolbert, and I think a lot of Tony Pollard in the passing game. The passing game is just probably going to be different than what we've been used to seeing, but That's what you're going to be looking at. You're going to be looking at that. There's nobody coming to save us. There's nobody coming. Nobody. But Sky, man, I know you got a ton of calls, bro.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting me tap in with you, man. Man, I hope we treat you very well out here when you get out here, bro.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. I'm gonna hit you up too when I get there.
Yes, sir. Hit me up for sure.
Got you. Mel, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all in here said some similar things, but he said it's gonna have to be a different offense. I would. Have we heard from Kellen Moore yet? When they going to interview these guys? I want to hear from Kellen. Not that he's going to give away anything, but I think he's going to have to literally flip the script this year. Got to flip it. We wanted our best players to get the ball. I've been saying it forever. And me personally, I've been saying, well, if they want to do this committee thing or they want to do this spread it around thing against the bad teams, whatever. But how can you look at what's going on right now and not say, okay, listen, Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz. That's the focus. That's it. Not saying that Tober doesn't get involved at some point, Ferguson and Brown, but those guys need to be the absolute focus on every single play. Not this, hey, we're just going to take what the defense gives us. I don't think they can afford to do that this year. I don't think they can afford to do that this year. You're going to have to lean on the playmakers that you do have. Because let's be real, TP, Zeke, Lamb, Dalton, they got guys that can make some plays for you. Put the ball in their hands and make the defense adjust to what you're doing. Be stubborn about it. Period. Man, we got a lot of. There's no way I'm going to be able to get to everybody, but I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. In fact, we might have to be a bit quicker on these. What's good, Jose? And I'm going to try to get to the chat as well while I'm doing this. Professor O, early in camp, there's a lot more pre-snap motion than usual. Hopefully that stays. Pre-snap motion, I noticed. Getting TP involved quick. With the quick game, I noticed. Moving Lamb specifically around with that pre-snap. And at snap. Right, I want to see more at snap motion. That's what stresses the defense the most. Because I think we talked about it when we were DMing. I think, can't remember. But we don't want just a snap or a pre-snap motion to see if they're in man or if they're in zone. Nah, we want to stress the defense. We want to get advantageous leverage. Right, we want to be in position to have an advantage, and not just all right. Come on over, Amari Cooper. Okay, they in man, cool. You're going to have to coach it up. You don't got guys that can just line up, I'm going to beat this man because I'm better than him. You going to go to Noah Brown with Darius Slay on him? No, I'm not. So you better scheme it up. Yeah, Chris, I don't usually do clock game, but I might have to do clock game. All right, let's go Joey. We're going to go Joey. We're going to figure this thing out. What's up, Joey? Or not Joey. Jose. My bad, Jose.
It's Joey, bro. It's Joey.
It's Joey?
So this is my ID, my government name.
All right. See, I got to be able to fix this.
No, I was going to say, no, everybody's on point, bro. Everybody is on point, bro, you know? I'd rather would have had
Hold up, Joey. Joey, you got me on speaker?
Hold on. No, I have you on Bluetooth.
Yeah, you got to put the phone.
There you go. Hey, what's up, brother?
Much better. What's up?
No, I was saying, no, everybody's been on point, brother. Everybody's looking, and I've been saying it. I'd rather would have had Cedric Wilson and Malik Turner here instead of who we have right now, because I don't think these rookies can step it up. We need to step it up. Shit, I'll be glad, but fuck, man, we need some guys here, man. We're hurting right now, I feel like we're hurting so bad that, man, I feel like we're back where ankle was back with the broken ankle. That's what hurt. I feel.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna touch on that. I'm gonna touch on those rookies, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep it moving, Joe. We got all these callers, man. I appreciate you.
No, yeah, absolutely. But what do you think? What do you think that happened? Who would you get? What?
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know off the air, brother.
All right then.
Oof. Chip out of here. Here we go. Hey, Joey, we gonna have to get you a phone, man. What kind of Bluetooth you got? You got the headset? You got the earpiece? It's getting rougher and rougher, bro. But who would I go out and get? Let's take a look, man. Let's take a look at it. Cole Beasley, Will Fuller, T.Y. I mean, it's the names that everybody's gonna say. Will Fuller, Cole Beasley, T.Y., Adam Humphries. Those are my four. In fact, I wrote those guys down. Will it make a major difference? Probably not. But you need to bring somebody in. So, and the other thing that Joey said was he doesn't think the rookies will step up or whatnot. I mean, there's only really one you're going to really count on, I think, and that's Jalen Tolbert. I think Jalen, again, my hope was that Jalen Tolbert can come in year one and kind of just ease his way in as a pro. You know, he's going to be relied on even more now. So I don't think we can afford to wait. You know what I mean? I think Jalen would be, again, he's a rookie, though. So our expectations have to be this isn't Jamar Chase. This isn't Odell Beckham. This isn't Mike Evans. You know what I mean? So we do have to tape our expectations for him on being a focal point. But if schemed up correctly, he can be productive for you early on. Unseen Jenkins says, let them young guys eat, Sky. Trey's silly, man. I don't know, y'all. I can't fake it. Yeah, sure. Let the young guys eat. That sounds great. I'm gonna just go to the phone line because I don't want to keep doing this. This makes it seem like I hate these guys. I don't. It's just, come on, man. 530. What's up, 530?
Oh, hey, this is Travis.
What's going on, Travis? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I was just thinking, I wonder if we could survive, the first couple weeks while we wait for Gallup to come back and, rely on a healthy Zeke because he was pounding it hard the beginning of last season. And rely on Dalton Schultz, and maybe we don't have to reach to sign somebody right now. I don't know. What do you think?
I think you were going to have to do that regardless, right? But even with Washington there, I feel like you were going to have to lean. That's something we've been talking about all offseason. You had to lean on the run game in general. You had to lean on the 12 package. You had to lean on being more physical and all those. That's why they got a Tyler Smith. That's why they've been talking about physicality and what have you. Because
Zeke was a freak in the beginning of last season too. So I'm not too worried right now.
Yeah, he was doing well. Am I worried about the run game? No. So I'm trying to separate the two, right? Whereas I know in football you have to put them together, especially if that's what your scheme is going to be. But I'm just looking at the room in general and remembering what our scheme was. Our scheme relied on spreading the ball around. And you said your name was Travis?
Yes.
And I'm always going to stand on, okay, if that's the case, then get me 3 bona fide studs out there like we had. So when the ball is spread around, all those guys have advantageous situations. And I'm going to keep using that word. I love it. But you get Gallup on somebody's third wide receiver or third cornerback, right? I love that. You get Cooper moving him around, and he can route up anybody. You get CeeDee Lamb on somebody's slot guy, right? Those are all, situations that I feel confident in. How confident are you when it's called upon that Noah Brown is the guy? How confident are you that when it's called upon that, Jalen Tolbert against a Jalen Ramsey, TJ Vasher, just not yet for me. Not yet for me, brother. So I am concerned about that room when they are called upon when it's time to play the game.
Yeah, especially since Noah Brown and CeeDee Lamb, I think, are the only ones who scored a TD in the regular season game too.
Yeah, Noah Brown has not scored.
Washington out.
He hasn't scored a touchdown in his career yet.
Oh shit! So it's just CD then.
CD and Terrence Steele.
A bunch of unproven. Oh yeah.
Terrence Steele at tight end.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Terrence. That's right. Well, he's out there. We'll put him as tight end.
But to your point, getting by until Gallup gets back. That's definitely going to be important. And one thing I'm not bringing up, the defense. I know the defense is over here like, come on, we can't keep losing people, because now the defense is going to have to level up. Because what happens if you have to get in a shootout and your running game is taken away? What happens if you go down 10 points? What happens if you get into the fourth quarter and you got to score a couple touchdowns quick?
Diggs INT, baby.
Facts.
Take it to the house.
I like it. Appreciate you, Travis.
Thanks for taking my call, Steele.
No problem. Thank you for calling. Man.
Later.
Let me get him up out of here. Freight Train. What's good?
Hey, I'm messing with you. Hey, man. Hey, here's the bottom line. I know you got a lot of calls.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hit you up with this one. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. However, when emotions are low, intelligence is high. Jerry and Steven, they made emotional decisions with Cooper and Cedric Wilson this past season. And so now, you talking about that Kellen Moore spread them out offense, this and that. Okay, we really getting ready to see what's going on now, because it's gonna be it's right on the table for that to have to happen. And personally, Kellen Moore just ran his hindsight up the flagpole. We get ready to see exactly what's going on now. Because when you can't go to your dogs, like what the Rams did, they went to their dog and rolled them all the way to a Super Bowl championship.
Yep.
So now, and my thing is, everything happens for a reason. Still, Sky, everything happens for a reason. My thing is, it happened the way it's supposed to happen, and I hope Cooper goes and balls out with that $20 million contract that the man we had him. He already took a discount, a $4 million discount when he came here.
I tell you this.
Now I hope
he rolled up his ankle yesterday. So he rolled up his ankle. So he's a little bit hurt right now, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that happened. But yeah. I just love the fact that sit back still. We're gonna sit back and see how this thing plays out. Because we're gonna be fans from here on out. But now people are getting ready. People got exposed this year. Jared getting exposed. Steven got exposed. Kellen Moore, they just got exposed. And the person that sit back and gonna watch it all unfold is gonna be Mike McCarthy saying, "See, y'all should let me do what I do." But I'm just gonna let you go, man. But man, you keep fighting that thing, man. Hey, and keep putting out the narrative. Dak don't need to. We don't have to be carried by Dak. Dak is what he's doing. Look at all these other quarterbacks in the season. They always want to switch it up. And when it comes to Dak, they want to have the whole weight on his shoulder. I'm not gonna let that happen. Let's keep pushing the narrative. That y'all not gonna throw him up. Y'all not gonna throw him out there and let the piranhas eat him. No, we're gonna be there and pull him up on the boat with us.
I like it. I like that energy, bro. I like that. Appreciate you. Listen, he talked about the Rams. I saw a party with the stars say, well, how many receivers did the Rams have? We don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Because the Rams not only had a plethora of receivers, they also had a really damn good scheme. I mean, you're talking about Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, and Robert Woods. And they still said, you know what? Go get Odell Beckham Jr. And they went out and signed Odell Beckham Jr. as well. Great foresight, because Woods ended up getting hurt and now Odell stepped in. So they had a lot of good wide receivers, proven wide receivers at that. So I don't think we want to compare that situation, party with the stars, but they had a lot of good ones. All right, let's get to, let me pull this over here and let's do some, oh shoot, wait a minute. Did that work? Hold up. Wait. Are you ready for the next episode? Hey. Boom, we good. All right, here we go. Let's get the Bobby Belts notes right quick, y'all. We're going to go through this, and then we're going to finish with these phones. It'll be a little bit of a longer show since I ain't going to be here all week. CD Lamb was absolutely dominant at practice on Monday, making plays just about every conceivable way. He caught a pass in traffic over the middle, high pointed the ball, and dragged his feet in on a pass toward the left sideline and came back on an underthrown ball down the right sideline to make a great catch as he was falling down. Now, he's talking about the play where I think it was a scramble drill and Dak threw a back shoulder, a beautiful back shoulder. But I didn't like how CD kind of slid. It scared me a little bit, but it was a great catch. He got up, so that's a good thing. And he says it was the type of practice you want to see from him as he takes hold of the number one receiving job. With the injury news to James Washington and then the domino effect from that, I don't want to get away from the fact that CD Lamb is doing CD Lamb things. Now, this may not, a lot of you may not care that those who are I don't say doubting CD, but are not sure of CD as a wide receiver one, because he looked great in training camp last year. He carried that into the season, had some monstrous games to start, and then he tailed off at the end for different reasons. But I've got all the confidence in the world in CD Lamb. The passing offense, I don't have an issue with in regards to him. It's other things. It's the Washington injury. It's the depth and things like that. But I think CD, if as Mark Cooper said, and as Michael Gallup co-signed, he said, "Hey man, Mari was just telling the truth. If Kellen Moore targets him, I think he's going to eat. Flat out, I think CD Lamb's going to eat if he's targeted. Period." Mel's not with the Antonio Brown. Chris said they weren't going to offer Cedric that kind of money. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Am I getting a little fuzzy over here? Y'all let me know if the connection is straight. These boys just win, says should have kept Cooper and Wilson. I would have loved it. Not gonna lie to you. I would have loved it. All right, let's move on to the next part that I wanted to talk about, and that was this right here. Connor McGovern versus Tyler Smith. And Zach Walchuk from 105 Through the Fan. Shout out to 105 Through the Fan. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Bobby Belt. And everyone else down there said the same thing. Connor McGovern started off as the first team guard, but the competition between him and Tyler Smith wasn't even close. He said McGovern struggled a lot of the day, including one rep where Carlos Watkins slipped by him in the backfield to blow up a run play. Smith, on the other hand, had several notable moments using his power to drive Quentin Bohanna off the ball on one rep and driving Tristan Hill to the ground on another, and pulling to the right to cut off DeMarcus Lawrence and spring Tony Pollard for a big gain. Now, the play that he is talking about. 1 second here. Let me pull this up because I want to blow it up. The play that he's talking about. I'm not saying that. Just watch. And if you're listening, I'm sorry, but this deserves just watch. I mean, he just gorilla presses Tristan Hill. There's so much to this play, nuance to the play in general. Tristan said, "You coming down with me, son." But to Tristan Hill's, I'm sorry, my bad, y'all. All right. Tristan Hill is a quick twitch guy. He tries to use his speed to get upfield in the ground game. He is not a guy that you want taking on contact in the run game, mano a mano. That is not his game. His game is get up the field, get to the passer. But boy, Tyler Smith, look how he stops him dead in his tracks. Lifts him up. And if it wasn't for Tristan Hill saying, "You coming with me," he would have fell on top of him like he was doing a Bronco Buster. But this is just a great rep from Tristan. Shows you that strength. Remember, we talked about it yesterday. I said, I can't wait to see the pads come on for Tyler Smith because I feel like he's got all this pent up energy in there. And now he can finally play and show his true game, which is being this kind of bully in the run game. We've been talking about his IQ. We've been talking about the technical standpoint, his hands, his athleticism, all those improvements. But we weren't able to really see the true strength in his game, and that's run blocking because they ain't had the pads on. They put them pads on yesterday, and immediately he showed you why they want him. And this is the type of attitude you want on that line. So, Tristan Hill, sir, have a day. Have a day. Let's get back to the phone lines. I'm going to let this play a little bit longer. 972. What it is, what it do. Ooh, 972.
Hey, you hear me there?
I got you. It sounded real bad for a second, but I got you.
Okay. I had a couple points that I kind of wanted to stress out on.
Sure.
The way the Cowboys move nowadays, it wouldn't be such a surprise to me if they actually just don't make any moves. Another one was, what about a guy like Jordan Nelson? I was looking at his stats earlier, and I was looking at his stats earlier. Pretty healthy guy. Last year he played 15 games, started 14 of them, 88 targets, 63 receptions. Jordan Nelson for Oakland. He's an older guy. But
Jordy Nelson?
Jordan. Oh, Jordy Nelson. Yeah. Sorry about that. Jordy Nelson.
I know you. Go. You just continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, he's been a real consistent guy throughout his career. He's associated with Mike McCarthy. I feel like he's a possession type of catcher of a wide receiver. So I think that would be pretty good for a guy like a guy like Dak Prescott as a quarterback. And I think that having that veteran presence in the locker room would solidify that, and then as far as like Michael Gallup coming back and stuff like that, I don't think he would like a progression stopper for Tolbert as well. I just wanted to ask that, see what you think. What type of compensation do you think Raiders? Because I don't even know their wide receiver room or anything like that. But I mean, for the stats, do you think Washington was going to?
Sorry. I don't want to. I thought you were going to catch yourself, and I don't want to do this to you. This your first time calling to the show?
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
you.
He was
just guy that fine,
But brother, Jordy Nelson, he's been retired for 4 years.
No, he has not. Oh yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So he's off the table, good brother.
Sorry about that, guy. But man. Hey, long time listener, man. Keep up the good work. I'll take a back seat and listen in on you.
Yeah. Hey, call back in next time. though. Just make sure you look at the year when you're looking at the stats.
I'm driving here brainstorming, man. I'm brainstorming.
I got
like,
you.
Man, come in and kind of help out. But hey, all right, man. Thank you.
Yep. No problem, man. I had to make sure I wasn't crazy because I'm like, Jordan Nelson. Jordy. Okay, Jordan. Wait, Jordy Nelson. Boy ain't played football since 2018. Yeah. So that'd be a no on Jordan Nelson, and I'm going to just leave it at that, man, because I don't want to do that to you, brother. Appreciate you calling in. Let's get to 561. What's up, 561?
Hey, it's Aaron. What's up, guys?
Hey, Ron, what's goody?
Nothing. Hey, I know you heard Jerry talking about Zeke being the focal part of the offense.
Yeah.
So he could block people. My head was going to blow up. I was like, oh, my God.
I ain't like.
Here we go.
I didn't like the way it sounded for Tony Pollard. I'm gonna just say that. He's
like,
like,
mind a run ball. We just want him out and route.
It was like, Zeke should be the focal point. Tony can fit in where he can get in. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. But anyway, I'll make it quick. the COVID got me. So if I sound all bad, anyway, so
Oh man,
I think
you
it's
got
kind
COVID,
of sad.
damn.
I think the Cowboys do this. They don't want to make a move, just like the other caller said, because they don't want to guarantee another veteran salary. Because Catboy going to do what he does. So it's kind of sad.
But isn't it out of necessity they got to? Like that's how I'm looking at it.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
am I
for sure.
frustrated with the room? Yes, but I think they have to add something.
That's their plan. Their plan is, hey, we're going to go into the season with $23 million, so we can't sign anybody else right now. You know, we don't want to guarantee it. I think that's what they're thinking. Pretty sad. So, all right, real quick, I want to get to these points, and I'll let you go.
Gotcha.
I think we have to comment down on the Will Fuller talk, because down here in Florida, Miami, there was a lot of reports he was basically going to quit football. He's got a lot. I guess he has a lot of stuff going on. And it wasn't just the finger. The finger was like hey, this is my excuse to get on IR.
It had to be, bro, right? Because you could come back from a finger in 6 weeks.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of reports down here about he was basically his heart wasn't in it, et cetera, et cetera. So
well, scratch that off the list then.
Yep. And the other thing is, I've been talking about the other receiver for the Dolphins, Preston Williams, 6'5", he's fast, he can play X. He's got all the skills in the world.
And he had some games last year for them, didn't he?
I don't know if it was last year, but
2 years ago.
He's shown up when he's been available. Same thing, injured guy. But he had off-field stuff, so that's why he basically was like a 5th-round pick or something like that. But so, and then the last thing, when I studied Simi after we drafted him, because I didn't know who he was, I saw him as a big slot. Actually, I think he's more of a big slot than anything.
Who's that?
Stretch the field, Simi Fehoko.
Oh, okay. Sweet feet is what I called him coming out of UCLA, man. He got some sweet feet.
Well, I don't like him as an X because he can't get off the line in press, and a Z I guess he'd be fine, but he's more of a big slot to me. So, and I'm gonna give you my Marcus Hardison quote of the day.
Uh-oh.
There's 3 different people in business. There's proactive people, reactive people, and people that are content. And the Cowboys are content.
Fair enough.
All right, bro. Thanks for letting me call in.
No problem, man. I'll keep calling in there, Ron. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Leave my man alone, please. King Element, just scroll up or rewind. We ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna be able to get to everybody, and I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna just keep rolling through these. I ain't even gonna get my opinions. James, what's good, James?
Hey, what's good, Sky? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. It's a tough day, you know, in regards to injuries, but hey, it's a new day. We breathing, so let's see what we got going on at today's practice.
Yes, it is. We had Malik Hooker. We let him go. Cedric Wilson, we didn't want to sign him. We let him go.
Malik Turner, I got you.
Had Amari, let him go. So now we working with what we working with. James Washington, he out. I say, man, we just go 12 personnel, try to get that running game going, and we're gonna need a vet because you can't have 85 as your third receiver, or your second receiver, man. That's bad, man. That's bad. Noah Brown, that's bad, man. I'm sorry.
And to be fair to him, he's playing well, and that's all fine and dandy. But I don't think anybody views Noah Brown as wide receiver 2 in any offense. So unless he's a super late bloomer, but wait and see approach.
Yeah, well, that's all I got, man. I know you got calls. That's all I got, man. I mean, we gonna have. Hey, this might be a blessing in disguise because now it's gonna force Kellen Moore to try to come up with some type of bag, whatever bag he got a lot of holes in his bag. But he's gonna have to run the ball. So this might be a blessing in disguise.
I've been hearing that, man. Let me touch on that when we get you off the horn. Appreciate you, James.
Yep, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I think the funny thing is that same sentiment was being said before James' injury. All right, well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I also heard, well, did we have too many weapons? I would never, ever subscribe to that, ever. Give me as many weapons as possible. You know, if I got a coordinator that I have to say, well, you got too many weapons, man. Let's tailor it down. What? Then I don't want you as my coordinator. But I have heard this blessing in disguise thing. I mean, again, I don't think the loss of James Washington changes the philosophy that should be for the Cowboys. It just dampens and hurts your wide receiver room and depth. Washington or not, you need to lean on the run game. You don't have that big 3 wide receiver group like you once had. Jalen Tolbert isn't a guy to come in his rookie year and that he's your 3rd or 4th option. He's your 2nd option now. Well, maybe Noah's your 2nd option, which again, that's saying something. But so I think you definitely have to lean on the run game. All right, let's get to a couple other premium guys. 585, which is Reek. What's good, Reek?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Sky? Cowboy Nation, stand up. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Tell y'all something, man. Like the caller before said, man, we're gonna have to lean on 12 personnel. We got young tight ends on this team that we need to see what's going on. We need to see if Schultz is gonna stand up to his contract. There's a lot of things going on out here. I know we down about Washington not him being injured and all that. I look at it like this, man. The philosophy of Stephen Jones is let the young guys get some burn. See what some of these dudes can do. Let's see what some of these young guys can do. Nobody gave us a chance last year, as Cowboy Nation remembers, against Tampa Bay last year, and we gave them all we gave them all the trouble they wanted in the first game.
Yeah.
So I'm looking like this. We're not scared to go against nobody. We're not scared of anybody. So it's time, like you said, it's on Kellen Moore. So Kellen Moore and it's on Mike McCarthy and it's on Dak. See what they're gonna do in times of pressure, when pressure busts pipes. And my thing is like this. I know it's the beginning of the season. It can go either way. I want to see what this preseason game's looking like, and I want to see what these first couple games look like when the regular season starts. You know what I mean? You kept all that money for a reason. You know what I mean? You kept the money for a reason, I hope. And we still got draft picks. My whole thing is like this. If we're not looking good going after the last preseason game going into this first game,
I don't like that.
Hey man, they yeah, that's what I'm saying. But sometimes you gotta see what you got on your team before you make a move, because we never knew. Did we all know that?
Where's my button?
A person like Cole.
Where is my button?
Did we know that a person like Cole Beasley was gonna be? My thing is like this. Did we know that Cole Beasley was going to be a good player? We didn't know that. He was an undrafted player. We had to find the people with skills on this team. I'm not going to give it up just because one person went down and we got to wait for Michael Gallup to come back. Yo, man, let's just go into this season to see what happens. That's my thing, you know what I mean? Because we know if we looking too bad, we gonna get the Cowboy Nation gonna get the talking junk. Steven and Jerry gonna know. They gonna hear it, and they gonna have to make a goddamn move.
We condition.
That's my whole thing.
This is.
You know.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Reed.
That's just me. All right.
No,
man.
it ain't. It ain't just you. It's half the nation, brother. We so damn conditioned. I hate it. Well, let's wait till Seattle. Let's wait till a week before the season. See what we got. Let's be reactionary. Steven. Why? If you know you have a deficiency, get active. Be proactive. Now, for the most part, we were in a reactionary state anyway. But now you're at a point where one of your depth offensive tackles go down. We're gonna wait. We're gonna see if who Isaac out or Cone can compete with Josh Ball. What are we doing? One of your top 3 wide receivers go down. Let's see if Ty Freifogel and Dennis Houston. All right, man. A lot of y'all don't like that tone, but it's frustrating, man. Waiting is what happened in 2018. You had to go out there and go get a guy and spend a first round pick that you gave up on after 3.5, 4 years, whatever it was. Really 3.5 years of keeping it in the bank. I digress. Yeah, Jay, almost. I almost went there, but I understand it's because we're conditioned. It's because of how the Cowboys operate that we just gotta be content here. We gotta be patient, man. Out of here, man. Go get me guys. I want winners. Couple more. We gonna end it with not Coach Marv, but Marv OG. But we got 267 on the horn. What's up, 267?
Hey, what's happening?
What's good with you?
Well, I'm like everybody else. Can't they get by with these young boys? You know, Tolbert and Vasher? Or if you have to go out and get anybody, I would even take a chance on Deshaun Jackson. About that speed he has.
Deshaun sound like he halfway out the door. I'm kind of with the group of people that state, if you already thinking about retirement, then I'm good. Because all it's going to take is for him to come in here, not like what he sees or a couple losing games and he not getting the ball. You saw what happened in the Rams. He wasn't used and he wasn't feeling too good and they had to ship him out. They had to get rid of him.
Yeah, because right about now, it kind of looks kind of bad for us. And I get the impression sometimes that maybe Jerry and Steven, that they're kind of hoping that they take a step back so they can just reload next season.
They'll
They're
never
already
do that.
starting off with $23 billion under the salary cap, and it's going to go up.
My thought on that is the Joneses will never, ever go through a full rebuild. Never. They'll always try at the very least to do just enough as opposed to going all in. I'd rather them go all in, it fail, and you have no choice but to do a full rebuild. That's at least you attempt it. You know what I mean? As opposed to just teetering, and I don't even want to use the word teetering because they haven't even been to the NFC Championship game, but being good enough to compete in the NFC East.
Yeah,
I digress.
I can't take another season like last year, the way they lost at the playoffs. Because I got to remember, I had to sit there and listen to all of these Eagles fans up here, and especially
got blown
those
out.
Giants fans.
The Eagles got blown the hell out in the playoffs. Don't let them get to you like that.
And then at my church, I got all these Giants fans.
They ain't beat the Cowboys in like 10 years. Don't worry about them.
I got laughed at, dissed.
We shouldn't even be comparing ourselves to those guys. We want higher standards. We want the Tampa Bays, the Rams, the Cincy's, the Chiefs, the Bills. You know what I'm saying? We want to be up there. We don't care about them basement dweller dudes.
And they got to spend money then. It costs to be the boss.
Indeed. Hey, appreciate the call though, man.
Okay, you have a good one.
You too, sir. You too. We're going to do extra long show today. I told y'all we would. 314, what it do?
What's the word, man? It's Madden here.
CT Madden here. Good to hear from you. I think this is the first time you ever called in, man.
Yeah. Hey, I'm thinking we should go and get Brandon Marshall. What you think?
Brandon Marshall, hold on.
Yeah,
Steve Smith. Let's go get Steve. Let's go get them all, huh?
You hear me?
You a nut, man.
But nah, tell me what Dan Quinn's doing different than Kellen Moore.
Say that again.
I said, can you tell me what Dan Quinn is doing different than Kellen Moore?
What Dan?
How he's advocating for guys and picking up who he wants for free agency, people he's coached. I feel like that's the problem with having an offensive coordinator that's not experienced. He don't know people in the league really, so that's why he's not advocating on who he should bring in to the room.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I can't be mad at that. If you look at the last 2 years, DeMonte KZ, Dante Fowler, They interviewed Tack McKinley, Keanu Neal.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're bringing in guys that tailor towards Dan Quinn, and even in the draft, right? They're drafting guys that tailor towards Dan Quinn.
Exactly.
Where what is Kellen Moore's philosophy and player personnel type?
Sitting on his thumb.
What is it? Yeah, it's a good point.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's all I had. Man. This show, keep it up, man.
Appreciate you, dog. See, y'all about to get me going, Kellen Moore rant. It's a great point, though. You know, the inexperience of Kellen Moore is major, in my opinion. And this is a big year for him. This is a make or break year for all those offensive guys. But if Kellen Moore, and he's not positioning himself, the team is not positioning themselves to make it better, in my opinion. But if he can improve, we can't continue to keep waiting around. You know what I'm saying? We got to move on. But, yeah, Dan Quinn is a proven Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator, a proven commodity in this league. He knows what it takes and what it doesn't take, right? He knows his negatives, his downfalls as a coach. I'm asking you again, what is Kellen's philosophy offensively? He was given the Ferrari. He was given Dak. He was given Zeke. He was given TP. Actually, they drafted TP that year. He was given Gallup, Cooper. Lamb was a gift from the gods that fell to the Cowboys. So what is his philosophy? I don't know. Don't think he has one. All right, man. Let's get to Marv. All right, we'll get to Marv and Sam, and then we're going to wrap this up on Be Here Forever. What's up, Marv?
Yo, what up, man? The gloom and doom guys. You and Mel.
The gloom and doom. No, we're just not delusional, and we think that Simi Fehoko and TJ Vasher are wide receiver 1s and 2s. Sorry, Mel.
They're going to do good, brother. They're going to do good. They're going to get you, each one of them going to get you up to 1,000. Tarver going to get you 1,000. CeeDee Lamb going to get you 1,000. And Paul going to get 1,000. No, listen. I got to jam you up, brother, still. You and your boy. No, they got good receivers. They got 8 receivers. Oh, let me ask you this question, Steele. Mr. Steele, you remember Guyton from the Cowboys? He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. He came from the Cowboys because you got the mindset, and San Diego popped him from my practice squad and got 800 to 900 yards and about 9 touchdowns last year. They're going to do it again. You know why they play Washington still? Because they wanted to see. The word is, in the camp, Dennis Houston, who I told you is balling. And so they said they got to see how this veteran do. Because he's probably about to get cut still.
Ooh.
So Washington was almost about to get cut still.
And that's a problem Dennis, if that's the case. He about to get cut after 1 week of camp, Marv. You know, Marv, yeah. I usually let your homerism go wild. I usually do. But this sound like you're serious right now. Are you serious right now, dog? Are you serious?
The young boys are balling still. I had to get on you, brother. Y'all got to stop panicking, man. They got 8 receivers. 2 of them ain't going to make it. I told you still. The team
who ain't going to make it?
From the Cowboys.
Who ain't going to make it, Marv? Who ain't going to make it? And tell me why when they ain't going to make it, the receiver room's going to be better. Who ain't going to make it, Marv? You said 2 of them ain't going to make it.
I say 2 of them going to get poached if we don't sign. I guarantee you. Okay. Watch this. Still, I'll put some money on it. If 81 for Noko, he run a 4.3 now. If he get cut, somebody gonna get him. If we try to put him on practice squad. Dennis.
What does that do for the Cowboys?
Dennis, still you gotta listen for once, brother.
No, you gotta stop being delusional for once.
Bruh. No, bro. Ain't no delusion. Was Guyton delusional?
What about Guyton? He went over and he played good over in the chart. What does Guyton got to do with right now?
The same thing is about to happen again. Me and Wall was talking about that last night.
Go ahead, finish, Marv, because I'm not doing this.
Listen, we was talking about that last night, man. Law. they poached him off our practice squad, and he's good, brother. There's a lot of good receivers. Dallas got a lot of young, good receivers, brother. You got to play them. You got to play them, brother. Y'all acting like we lost Jerry Rice.
No,
Come on, man.
No.
And y'all keep talking about Cedric Wilson. He didn't get good until his third year, man. And then the guy off the practice squad from Seattle, for real, man. Come on, bro.
You mean to tell me?
Pitiful.
Wait. You mean to tell me you wouldn't like to have? I'm not saying that we had to bring him back, but you wouldn't like to have a Cedric Wilson or a Malik Turner right now, given the state of the wide receiver room? Are you kidding me?
No, I wouldn't. I don't care about Los Angeles. Because we got other players that's better than him. I'm telling you.
Feeding into this.
Auburn is going to have 1,000 yards still.
All of them going to have 1,000 yards, man.
No, I said, I gave you you got it wrote down. I said, CD was going to be the number 1. Tober's going to be the number 2. And then I don't want them to rush my number 13 back into the 6th game. I want to make sure he's 100%. Do not rush him back.
And Vasher's going to get 1,000, right? And Semi's going to get 1,000?
No, I didn't say Vasher going to get. I said Vasher going to get you. If he breaks the team, Vasher going to have about 500 yards.
Oh, okay.
And what you might have
who did you say was going to get 1,000 early on when you started this call here?
I say Tober is going to have about 1,000 to 1,200 yards.
Okay.
And then I said CD Lamb is going to have about 1,400. And then you got the 12 personnel, and you got number 20. Now, like y'all said, the offensive coordinator, all this talent, I hope he knows to call the right plays.
I would not air G.
We got Thunder and Lightning. We got the big Zeke gonna have a good year, and Paula gonna have a good year. And like I say, if y'all watch the camp, you gonna be there. They playing them veterans. When you see a veteran guy play in front of a rookie, they seeing what he got. Cause that rookie gonna start. Smith gonna start. I'm not worried about it. And that's why they was playing Tristan Hill to see can he make the team. And they was playing 91 too, because they know what them rookies going to come through. I'm telling you, man, them boys ain't stupid. I'm not worried about no receiver. We're going to have a good camp. Oh, and still, one more thing. Now, it's 2 teams that if they lost receivers, they'll probably be. If Cincinnati lost their number 5, they got 2 receivers already that had 1,000. They had 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. And then you got Miami. If they lost their receiver, they still got Wow. No, I'm saying, you talking about receiver. If we lost CeeDee Lamb. If everybody lost their number 1 receiver, what team is still in good shape? If Minnesota lost, who's Minnesota number 1 receiver? Jefferson?
Mark.
I'm just bringing points to you, brother. If Jefferson lost, is Minnesota still in good shape?
They have Adam Thielen. Okay, they have another guy they can go to like that. Last year, Dallas Cowboys had 3 receivers. If they lost one, they would be fine. And it literally showed out. We lost Michael Gallup. They were fine. If the Cincinnati Bengals loses a guy, they have 3 receivers. They have Boyd and they have Higgins. They'd be fine. Not saying you wouldn't miss those guys, but they have 3 bona fide studs or 2 bona fide studs to start their season. The Cowboys have 1. And I'm not saying they need 3 or 4 or 5. I'm just saying things are different this year, Mark. I'm speaking, though, in logical terms. I know you don't want to hear that right now. You're full blown into your rose-colored glasses and homerism, so continue. Continue. I don't want to continue. I don't want to stop you from your continue.
No, I see what you're saying. But I just say that's just, that's the only team I was Cincinnati and Miami, Now, what about Washington? If they lost say if they lost their number 1. So
I'm not Marv, move on. I'm not going down the entire goddamn NFL, brother. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, but I'm just asking you. If they lost their number 1,
Washington's trash, Marv. I don't give a damn. Washington's trash. Boy, Marv.
I understand still, but I'm just saying to all you Cowboys fans, stop panicking, man. We haven't even played a preseason game yet. Let's see what they do in preseason. They saving that money.
It's so funny. Let's see what they do when the pads come on them up. Got hurt. Yeah, people is frustrated, man. Before it was, now it's preseason. Let's wait till preseason. Before it was, let's wait till training camp. We in training camp, Marv. Okay? And the receiving core looks like this.
I know. The receiving core is good. Obviously, we got a good receiving core. That's on you guys. Y'all negative. My receiving core is good.
No, it's called being real. And some people don't like the truth, and I understand that. But boy, Marv, I let you kind of live in your homerism state, but I see why they call Cowboys fans delusional. It's this type of situation, man. We better than that on this channel. I don't live in that on this channel, man.
I don't live in
you do.
Make-believe.
You live in make-believe.
Fantasy football land.
You live in fantasy football land.
Still, that's you, fantasy football.
No, it's not
you
me.
Keep thinking, yes, it is, bro. You gotta let the receivers play, man.
We are
letting about
Marv, I'm out, bro. Man. I gotta let you go, man. I'm not gonna keep doing this to you, man.
Still don't like the real talk.
I'm giving you real talk. I don't like homerism. You are bent down and you are just diving deep into the Cowboys homerism right now, and it's frustrating because I don't do that on this channel. It's fun. It's fun and games. It's all fun and games. But if you being real serious right now, Marv, I can't do this with you, bro. This is whack.
I like it, man. I like my team, man. We got a good team, brother.
All right, man.
How you think we're gonna do good?
All right.
I don't never be in the downer.
All right, Marv. I'ma holler at you, dog. I gotta get Sam on the horn because this ain't it. This ain't it,
brother.
Peace. Hey, Sam, bring this back down to logical, real stuff right now because I almost lost it completely on Marv right now. What's up, Sam?
This is exactly why I called in. Like, it's been asinine with the – I mean, I've been semi-trolling, like, the all-season being like, oh, we need Debo, oh, we need DK. But it was only, like, half. Like, and now it's come to fruition, right? Like, you know someone's going to get hurt during camp. And, like, you also know that Stephen Jones, like, I've super chatted it, like, he's gonna be who he is, right? And so, like, when the fans, where this is ridiculous now, when the fans are like, oh, it's okay, like, no, it's not. Like, it's
conditioned.
Not okay. It's not okay. Like, I don't understand. Like, I wanted to curse a couple of times, and I was waiting. So
let me tell you, the only reason why I didn't go all the way off because I'm on air.
It's ridiculous, man. Like, he's a businessman. He has other priorities. Like Jerry, he won his three things. He got one by himself. He's in his old age now. He knows what to say, but like he's good. Like he's now looking at his life, get some women, have some money, and just like live a good life. Like he's not trying to. If winning was really at the top of his like priority list, he would take a whole different approach. But like, it's a priority, but it's not the priority. It's not the number one priority. So like, I think the fans are treating this like a bad negotiation. They're like it being bad negotiators. When you go into negotiation, it's like if you're negotiating a salary and you say, oh, for instance, let's just say like this flat number. Let's say you want 100,000, but you ask for that as your first offer. Like you're probably not going to get that because you know the other party's going to try to come at you, so you got to ask for a higher number. But like with the fans, we like asking for like not even like the number we want. We're asking for a lower number where the party we're negotiating against essentially Steven is like going to try to lowball us. So, like I don't understand what people are doing, but like if they want to win, you got to essentially raise your expectations because like it's just not this whole we could do it. I like, you know, Simi and Bash just as much as the next person, but
right.
Like, there's no harm in like getting some proven talent. Like we went from having cap issues to having the second or most or first one on cap in the league. It was like at a certain point, like
there's a difference in rooting for these young guys and then being completely delusional about what is. I think the problem that many have with me is that I speak on what is. And right now, you have a wide receiver room. Not a single person outside of CeeDee Lamb has a goddamn touchdown catch. And I'm supposed to act like this is a great room? Yeah, we got a great room. How the f do you know that? Right? So
even like, yeah.
All right, man.
Like even Devontae Adams, I don't know the exact stats, but like in his first couple of years in the league, he wasn't like, I think it was like 600 yards or something like that. So you can't bank on Tolbert coming in and instantly being like a number 2 or even in today's
Well,
NFL,
unfortunately, we're going to have to bank on that. But I was more so hoping that he'd be a part of the top 3 as opposed to being relied on right away as much. But as my guy would say, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just hoping, like, and it's sincerely hope that, like, he signs a quality, like, vet. But, like, I have a strange feeling that they're just going to keep it with he's going to come out there and sell us on, like, oh, we like our guys, blah, 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 and we're going to roll into the season. But I'm like, I try to be optimistic despite, like, the tenor of this call, and so maybe he'll sign someone and we can, or do a trade. But
they have to do something. I mean, you have to do something. You can't go into the season with this much inexperience. No, you can't do that.
I mean, I guess technically, like, you're right in some respect. He has to, because, like, that roster spot's going to go somewhere. It's just who he's going to fill it with. Maybe that's you know what I mean? Like, he's going to go in IR, or I don't know if they can cut him at this point, but, like, whatever the case may be, he's going to, like, not be playing football. So that roster spot has to go to someone. It's just a matter of, like, what they do with it.
Well, according to Michael Gallup, this is what I said earlier. He's actually going to have to make the 53-man roster first and then put him on IR so he's eligible to return after 4 games. So he'll be back. I wouldn't be counting on him for anything at this point, but he'll be back sometime in October, most likely. But what do you do from there? Because you may be without 2 of your top 3 receivers you were counting on this year. Think about that.
Yeah.
But everything's great. Get the hell out of here. Hey, let me keep it moving, Sam. I appreciate you calling in.
All right, take care.
You too, man. You wild. Marv, you a wild one. Talking about I'm living in fantasy. The only fantasy that I'm living in is underdog fantasy. That's it. So if you do want to play fantasy football, you can do so with your boy Sky, man. You know, I got a fantasy league that I'm going to be running over at Underdog. We already got a couple signups already. Salute to Danny. Salute to TC915. They hit me up via email and let me know. All you got to do is download the app Underdog Fantasy, sign up with the promo code ATOZ, and then you will be eligible to be placed in our fantasy league with a chance to win some real hard-earned cash money. You can also take your team, put it into Best Ball Mania. All you got to do is draft a team and leave it alone. They will take the rest of all of your scores, accumulate it, and pick the best ones. And that's why it's the best and easiest way to play fantasy sports. So again, sign up with promo code ATOZ, and they will match any deposit up to $100. Again, I'm going to put my John in here real quick. I'm going to put my email in here. SkywalkerStill@gmail.com. It's real easy. If you sign up, I just want to keep tally. If you do sign up, email me. Let me know you signed up, and I'll make sure I keep that in mind. But Underdog Fantasy also will be keeping track as well. So once we get to September 5th-ish, somewhere around there, we'll be doing a fantasy draft live. All right?
Hold on a minute, player. Hold on a minute, player.
Marv, man. Disappointed. Swain, nah, man. You're going to get some bread, but you ain't getting no child support payments. Get some child support payments. B47, I cannot stay on for 30 more. We done gave y'all a long enough-ish show. We do got a ton of people left on the line. I cannot get to y'all today. But return tomorrow. Hit the bell so y'all know when I come on live, which is about 8:30 any goddamn going way. And we can get back to this conversation if you want to get back to this conversation. But we will have more updates from training camp. So I do want to make sure I attack those, the notes and everything that goes down. And remember, I will be down there later this week, so we'll have that as well. And I can give my viewpoint on what we saw. Later on, I will be on the Volume, Voch Lombardi Live. And then tonight, A to Z Sports Primetime. Make sure I do check it out, Trey, because Mauricio will have all the latest that has happened from training camp, whereas I will come on the next morning and talk about what happened at training camp. So y'all tune in for that. And tomorrow, Hit the notification bell so y'all know when I come live. All right? We don't got to put a time no more. I'm going to just be here in the morning. And it's going to be the final show of the week until later on this week, and I'll roll out some content as well. So with that said, man, press this dang button before I blow a casket. All this goddamn. I love y'all, though. I appreciate y'all. Keep it real, though. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. We out here, man. Shout out to Jordy Nelson. Peace. Love y'all.